Apart from the study of lifestyles and ethnology of ethnic groups, we have already studied about some minor and major groups of ethnic people. In this way, we have already studied about minor groups of ethnic people like Savara, Jatapu, Gadaba, Yerukula, and some major groups like Gonds, Pradhans or Pardhans, also Thotis. So Gonds are the most prominent and predominant group of ethnic group. They are considered as major group because they are inhabited all over the India at every state. Especially they may have originated from after Gondwana, that is from Bihar and Madhya Pradesh hilly areas. So the Gond tribe is considered as a major group among other. Then comes Lambada. We have already seen about Lambada also. We have seen about Lambada also. Are you able to hear me? All of you hear me? All of you able to hear me? Okay, okay. Okay, one screen setting is changed here. Then I worried. Who that person? One of you have left. Who is that? Why? Then okay. So we have seen already in major groups of tribals: Gonds, Lambada, Pradhan or Pradhan, Thoti. Then these Thotis are considered as sub-tribe in Gonds. This is according to uh, one anthropologist, that is Sayyid Siraj ul Hussain. You can write it. Sayyid Sayyid Siraj ul Hussain is an anthropologist who considered these Thotis as subtribe of Gondos. So these uh, Thotis are inhabited along with Gondos as symbiosis, but their dialect and language are different from Gonds. So they use language Gondi, Gondi by Gonds. Gondi is the dialect which is used by the Gonds, whereas you can see in Toti they use Guras. Guras is the language which is used by Guras, Guraz, Guras, which is used by Thotis. Thotis. So this is the then Thotis can be treated as a major group of tribals, and according to this gentleman anthropologist Sayyid Siraz ul Hussain, these Thotis are treated as sub-tribe in Gondas. Then you can see the other major type, that is Koya. Koya. Koya, again, two types, Racha Koya and Koya. So these Racha Koya claim their descent from legendary or kings of the forest. So Rachakoyas declared themselves as kings of the forest. And you can see another subtribe, Koya, is also there within the Rachakoya. The Koya tribe is divided into several functional endogenous groups. That means in Rasakoya, when you consider the Rasakoya as kings of the tribals, and the other Koyas are divided into so many other groups, so many other groups. They are endogamous. Endogamous means they are originated within the same group. They are originated from the same group. So the Rachakoya are ruling class, and they feel as a superior group, tribal group among the tribals. And but now in modern days, this distinction is based on function of each group, disappearing, and even respective groups are not following their traditional occupation. So due to not following of the traditional occupation, so certain or specific tribal group has specific occupational works, but they don't follow their own occupational works. When they are not following their own occupational works, these Rachakoya is not are not designated as superior class. In modern days, all those subtribes and other groups of Koyas are comes into same comes into same. Now you will not find any superiority among Raj Koyas and inferiority among other Koyas. Now, in modern days, all Koyas are equal in economic and social status, whereas in previous days, these Rasakoya designated themselves as designated themselves as kings of the forest. Now, no distinction can be seen. All the Koyas, the subtribes of Koyas, are considered one and same. One and same. This is about the origin of Koyas. Then you can see in Koyas there are four subgroups. Subgroups, that is మూడవ గట్ట నాలుగవ గట్ట ఐదవ గట్ట ఆరవ గట్ట ఏడవ గట్ట so on. We have seen in Gonds as saga, SAGA, saga. These sagas are also classified into four divide brother groups, five divide brother groups, six divide brother groups, seven divide brother groups, so on. Like that, here in Koyas also you can see, Koyas also you can see again four groups. Those four groups are directly named as Mudava Gatta, where you can see Saga in Gonds, in Koya Gatta, Mudava Gatta, Nalgova Gatta, Aidava Gatta, Arava Gatta, and Edava Gatta. These are five subgroups in Koyas. These divisions are exogamous. I have told you that exogamous is nothing but the tribes which are originated from the same groups. They were later divided into some other groups. So these are all exogamous. So these divisions are exogamous and are meant mainly to regulate their marital alliance and other familial relations. So what is the use of this gattas? So these gattas are facilitate them to have marriages and marital relations from one gatta to another gatta. In modern societies also you can see in social status there are some shakas, gotras, surnames. What is the use of all those? They facilitate to lineage among the people, lineage, so that in order to function the lineate, they have divided into these five exogamous groups. None other than is there. So the only secret is to have their family relations and marital relations and to maintain the lineage. They have classified into five gattas. Five gattas. Each gatta again divided into several clans. Several clans with indicated the names of god or goddesses. You see, again in modern societies, in one Shaka or Gotra, again you can see some surnames like that. These koyas, again in Gattas, they have divided into some clans. Each clan, CLAIN, each clan indicates the name of god or goddesses, which are worshipped by these Koya tribal people. They coin the name as clan or as prefix. The prefix is nothing but as surname in modern societies. These prefix or surname indicates one god or goddesses, one god or goddesses, and they claimed that we have the children of this god and we are children of this goddesses. మేము ఈ దేవుడు బిడ్డలం లేకపోతే ఈ దేవత బిడ్డలం అని చెప్పుకుంటారు. ఆ దేవుడు లేదా దేవత యొక్క పేరు వాళ్ళ పేరుకు ముందొచ్చే విధంగా సర్నేమ్‌కి వచ్చే విధంగా పెట్టుకుంటారు. సో, దట్ ఈస్ ద సబ్ డివిజన్ ఆఫ్ ది గట్టాస్. సబ్ డివిజన్ ఆఫ్ ది గట్టాస్. డిడ్ యూ అండర్‌స్టాండ్? So, this is and the here we will learn again in customs and traditions. Here one point, the marriage among Koyas takes place after puberty and cross cousin marriages are encouraged. So the marriages will take place after puberty. Why we emphasized this point is some of the tribal groups, the child marriages before puberty is encouraged. Whereas in Koyas, you will not see that kind of children marriages, child marriages. Only you can see the marriages after puberty, but you can see the cross cousins between cross cousins. You know what about cross cousins? The system, the son of sister or daughter of sister. So this kind of provides is cross cousin. So the marriage among cross cousin is allowed in this group. So that is the point here. So this is about the major, minor, and major tribal groups in India, Andhra Pradesh, even some of the tribal groups which we have mentioned or inhabited in our district also. But you are not. If you asked about for, you can write some major groups of tribal people. When you ask, you can write any tribal group. So because of what we now studied, all the tribal groups are inhabited in India only, not other than the India. They may inhabited in various states of India as well as in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, even in our own district, Srikakulam district. So that there is nothing, no problem when you asked for some tribal groups. You can write any tribal group which you have studied, no problem. Then you can see other lifestyles of tribal people. So this organization and leadership, you can see the organization and leadership. What is the organization and leadership? How the family and tribal societies are being organized, and who will be the leader, and how will be the family setup. If you take in your family, your father will be the head. So in some tribes, no father will be head. Then mother may be head of the family. So mother will organize all the activities in the family. So such changes. organizations and leaderships are there. The anyhow, in organization and leadership activities, you can see the entire family considered to be a one unit, and also they give main importance to lineage people and old age people. There is no doubt. The people belonging to same lineage cooperate with each other in agricultural activities. So there is a unity is there among tribal people. So of course, their main occupation is agriculture. So in agricultural works and agricultural practices, the people who belongs to same lineage will cooperate each other. Means one lineage of the tribal group will take place one kind of agriculture at one place. So they togetherly participate in agricultural practices at one group of tribal people, and also in socio religious ceremonies and functions. You can see the socio economic or religious ceremonies or functions will organize, they will celebrate one kind of functions. One lineage will celebrate one kind of functions. So the tribal society is also uh, society elevated by many aspects, like women. Here the woman is given main priority and responsibility family in the family. She responsible, who women or mother responsible for church food and maintaining the offspring, etc. So she will prepare food and other things. Whereas in many aspects, males are elevated. Males are elevated, but females are not elevated. But they maintain food responsibility and to maintain the offspring. To maintain the offspring, both men and women equally participate in collects of forest produce. You know, they collect forest produce to support his economy, to support his their economy. Both of male and female will participate to collect forest produce. Also, they participate in agricultural works. They will equally work. Women is equally works uh, among the men. Men. So you know that both male and female ratio is very essential for the agricultural works. So among in the tribal groups, a village headman or chief, he called as Vejjodu. You can note those names. Vejjodu. 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 Who is this fellow? Vejjodu is the village headman. Village headman. And he is assisted by a priest called Jannodu. 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 He is the uh, priest. Priest. Priest means who organize worships, prayers at temples and sacred places. He is considered as priest. So priest has one name, that is Jannodu. Jannodu. And some Purohits are also there. Purohits means they come to houses and they will conduct our some cultural aspects, cultural organizations. Though the people who organize the cultural events known as Purohit. This Purohit has one name in tribal groups, that is Desarodu. Desarodu. Deserodu. Desarodu. You have introduced with three names: village head Vejjodu, priest Jennodu, and Purohit has Desarodu. So they have this specific and peculiar names, tribal names. With these names, they are organizing the society, tribal societies. They are organizing the tribal society. The property is transformed. All these are all comes under lifestyles. In the third chapter, you can see the lifestyles of tribal people. So these are all comes under the third chapter, lifestyles. The property is transferred according to rules of inheritance prevailing in the respective tribes. Just like our modern societies, the property is also transferred to next generation from father to sons or daughters. Uh, Sons or daughter. So in Jatapu, you can see the Jatapu, the eldest son inherits the parental properties, whereas in Savaras, all the sons inherit the people. So this is in Jatapu, it looks some injustice. It looks some injustice. The all property will goes to eldest son. What about other sons? It is in case of Jatapu. Whereas in other tribals like Savara, the property will be shared equally to all the offsprings. To all the offsprings, they are least affected by civil laws. So this is very important. They don't care of these civil laws and legislature laws. Only they will settle all the issues at their village level with village head who is known as Vejodu. They never bother about laws, courts, and legislature. They never go to courts. They almost all the issues will be settled at the village level only in the presence of that village head who is called as Vejjod. They never bother about these all these legislatures. They are least bother about these legal and civil issues and rules of the government. They never go to courts. They will. This is their legislature. And if you come to occupation, occupation. As you know, the occupation, the main occupation of the tribals, almost all groups of tribal people. If you take any tribal people, Jatapu, Savara, Koya, Lambada, Gonds, any you take, the occupation is agriculture. Mainly their occupation is agriculture. Almost all tribal groups in the habitations will practice, that is podu cultivation or shifting cultivation. I need not explain the podu cultivation and shifting cultivation one again, because we have already aware of that podu cultivation or shifted cultivation. So most of the tribal people practices this kind of cultivation. In the podu fields they cultivate. So in podu cultivation or shifting cultivations, what kind of crops they grow? They grow Kajanas Kajan. You know what is Kajanas Kajan? I need not say the Telugu name. If it is difficult to know, I will tell that. Then next one is Kurkuma. You know what is Kurkuma? You know Kurkuma Langa, turmeric, Kajanas Kajan, red gram. And you can take Echinoclova, Frumentosa, Frumentosa, Echinoclova, ECHI, Echinoclova frumentosa, what you call them as Vodalu. Vodalu. They cultivate in Podu cultivation or shifting cultivation. The first one is Kajanas Kajan, second one Kurkuma Langava, Echinoclova, and the next one is ginger. You know what is ginger? And other commercial crops also they cultivate as a part of Podu cultivation. They are tobacco, especially tobacco, chilies, maize, beans, brinjal, orange, lemon, pineapple, kurkuma. These are all. commercial crops. So first what we have are this Khajanas or Echinoclova fruticens or staple food crops. They are food crops. The others are commercial crops. They cultivate all these commercial crops and food crops by Podu cultivation. Podu cultivation. They collect minor and major forest produce from the forest like honey. Honey. They collect honey. They collect shikakai. Shikakai. Uh, that is Cassia cyanota. Cassia cyanota is the shikai. And turmeric. And they collect tamarind. They collect tamarind. So this they while they collecting other forest produce, raw fruits, and they sell them in uh, daily markets or in weekly markets. Apart from the occupation, apart from their occupation, fishing is also one of the major activity which support their economy. They collect forest produce to support their economy, and also the other one is fishing. So by fishing, they catch the fish and sell them to support their economy, and they will eliminate to generate revenue because of they are economically poor, so to support their economy, to enhance their economic status, the forest department and governmental organizations also allow them to collect some major and minor forest produces from the forest areas. They are allowed into forest areas to collect these forest produce. Legally, they are allowed to improve or to enhance their economic status. Economic status. So the tribes uh, fishing they use it to do, and also hunting. So they hunt some animals which is for flesh and other things like skin, horns. Also they will hunt. So these hunting and fishing are seasonal. Seasonally, they perform these two activities. This is seasonal activities. The tribes are rear pigs, cows. They domesticate some animals. What kind of animals? Pigs. They grow pigs. They grow cows, goats, and fowl also, which play an important role in their economy. By these domestic animals also, they will support some economy. They make some other activities. So, for example, they make baskets with bamboo, baskets, meal plates, from meal plates, some leaves. What is that leaves? That bahinia leaves. అడ్డాకు అంటారో తెలుసు కదా, అడ్డాకు బాహినియా, సిసల్ఫనేసి family member. So bahinia leaves, they prepare meal plates. With some bamboo sticks, they prepare baskets. They prepare grain rice, uh, grain banks, grain bank, you know grain bank, what is meant by grain bank? Butti అంటారు పల్లెటూళ్ళలో బుట్లు. So the grains are stored in that grain banks. They are prepared with this bamboo. So say prepared some brooms. They collect brooms, So these are all sell in the market. Brooms, ropes, firewood, etc. These are all help them to alleviate their poverty, and to support their economic status. Not only their main occupation, what we have learned today, their main occupation is agriculture, podu culture or shifting culture. In podu culture or shifting culture, what kind of crops they cultivate also we know. Some food crops and some other commercial crops. In addition to these, to support their economy, seasonally they go for hunting and fishing, as well as they collect forest produce and they uh, uh, prepare some baskets, grain banks, mats, meal plates, ropes, firewood, all those they will prepare for their domestic purpose as well as to sell in markets to support their economy. Did you understand? This is about their occupation. And you come to their food habits. And if you come to their food habits, the main source of food is rice. Rice, as you know, the rice is the staple food for them, and also millets. Millets, you know what are millets? Millets ante చిరుధాన్యాలు. చిరుధాన్యాలు కైండ్ ఆఫ్ పెన్నిసెటమ్ టైపాయిడియస్, ఎల్యూజైన్ కొరకైనా రాగులు. And you can see this echinoclova ఓదలు. These are all comes under millets. So the main food is rice, also millets, pulses, 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 and also wild raw fruits. Some wild raw fruits. So many kinds of raw fruits they eat. We don't know such several kinds of raw foods are available in the forest. They directly eat. They directly eat, so that they are called as raw fruits. They are products of cultivated fields, and also they gather some other supplement food material. Supplement food material they gather or they collect from the forest, like edible tubers. Edible tubers. You know how many kinds of tubers can you eat? Chober, a good example for chober, what you eat is potato and also sweet potato. We know one or two one or two items in edible chomers, but they eat so many kinds of edible chomers. Edible chomers. They collect from uh, forest areas, raw, raw food material, chomers as well as rhizomes. Rhizomes. Also some leaves, fruits, seeds. They eat some tender leaves of some plants, tender leaves. They eat directly some rhizomes, some raw fruits, some seeds. They directly eat, and also they prepare some porridge and ambali. Ambali is different from forage. So forage is the uh, prepared with some millets, that is known as forage. Forridge. Forage. And malts is actually comes under ambali. Malt, they prepare some kind of malt and forage with millets. They widely use this forage and malts, which are prepared with millets. They take them as light food. In the morning or in evening they will take it. And they also prepare gruel form of powdered pith of caryota urens and seed, Tamarindus indica. So some powders they prepare. What they prepare these powders? Tamarind seeds of Tamarindus indica. What is Tamarindus indica? Tamarind, చింతపండు. Seeds of Tamarindus indica అంటే చింతపిక్కలు. చింతపిక్కల యొక్క పౌడరు, and also the pith material of caryota urens. Caryota urens means this జీలుగు చెట్టు యొక్క దవ్వ పిత్ మెటీరియల్తో పౌడర్లు తయారు చేసి వాటిని కూడా తింటారు, నీటిలో కలుపుకొని తాగుతారు. దే మిక్స్ ఇన్ ద వాటర్ అండ్ దే డ్రింక్ యాజ్ లైట్ ఫుడ్. They prepare this forage and malts with millets, And also they prepare powders with caryota urines, pith of caryota urines, and seeds of tamarind, and they used to take them as light food. And also drinking toddy is drinking toddy, Yarak, Ararak, Yarak. Toddy, you have already introduced this word. Toddy, toddy. Toddy and Arak, and smoking are common among the tribals, irrespective of sex and age. You know, irrespective of sex and age means no men are male or female, both male and female, irrespective of sex, irrespective of age, not boyhood or middle age or old age. All will take toddy and arak. All are drunk, and also all will smoke. All the tribal people, both male and female, will smoke. All the tribal people, male and female, will drunk toddy and araks. Araks means mattu paniyalu, beverages, some beverages. What kind of these beverages? Beverages are prepared with this Madhuka langifolia, Corolla of Madhuka langifolia, Yeppa. And you can this see this caryota urines. These two comes under sap of the caryota urines ante జీలుగా. These two comes under ఎరాక్. ఎరాక్ మీన్స్ నార్కోటిక్ డ్రింక్. నార్కోటిక్ అంటే మత్తునిచ్చే పానీయము లేదా బేవరేజ్ అనొచ్చు. And commonly they use to drink that sap, that is toddy, sap or toddy. In our language, that is meristematic sap. In botanical point of view, it is a meristematic sap which is collected from meristematic tissue, apical meristematic tissue. In Borasys flabellifer and Phoenix sylvestris. Phoenix sylvestris, Eta, Borasys flabellifer, Tati, they collect this toddy and they drink irrespective of sex. And also they use it to cook and eat that sprouts of bamboo. Sprouts of bamboo. Sprouts ante, మొలకలు, seedlings and just germinating. Those are known as sprouts. The sprouts of bamboo, they collect these sprouts of bamboo and they cook and eat. జస్ట్ వాటిని ఉడకబెట్టుకొని తింటారనమాట. ది సవర ఈట్ స్నేక్స్ ఎక్సెప్ట్ పైథాన్ విచ్ ఈస్ దే బిలీవ్డ్ బి ఏ డైటరీ. దిస్ ఈస్ ద వండర్ఫుల్ అండ్ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ థింగ్. సవర పీపుల్ విల్ ఈట్ స్నేక్స్. దే ఈట్ స్నేక్స్ ఎక్సెప్ట్ పైథాన్. దే డోంట్ ఈట్ పైథాన్. వై? They believe that Python is their deity. Deity means goddess. Python, they believe the Python as their deity, and other snakes are eaten by that Savara group. So this is their food habits. So this is some interesting information, that is eating of snakes except Python by Savaras is an interesting thing to me also. And customs, you can see the customs, traditions, and religious beliefs, all those. So the culturally, both the tribes, that is major and minor groups of tribers, are not in the same level in development. you know in development, in culture, in civilization point of view, they are different from one another tribal group. They are not in equal stage, economically, culturally, socially, or civilization. They are different. If you take in our district, Savara and Jatapu, Savara are the most primitive and they are lower in economic status. Jatapu are somewhat advanced. So that no one tribal group is equal to other tribal group in their economic and other status, economic and other this. They are different from one from to another. So thereafter, these are all their main tradition is they offer the food grains or crop or yield which they have cultivated. The food or after harvest, these food grains or crops will offer their goddesses or god or deity, and they will start eating and sell in the markets, sell them in the markets. Though after harvesting of the crops, they offer to their goddesses and god, then only they will eat and they will sell the sell in markets. And whenever they get the crop or after harvestation get the crop, they will celebrate a feast. Feast ante vindu. They will celebrate feast, and they take food, complete food, very nutritious food, which is known as boji. Boji means boji means in our language it is nothing but meals or bhojanam or vindu bhojanam. That is boji, boji. So this boji is celebrated and performed after harvesting the crop. After harvesting the crop, and if you take in marriages, the bride's price is known as holi. Bride's price. So here, bride's price, bride's price means who is bride? Bride ante pelli kumarte. So she will give some money. That money is like that our dowry. Dowry in modern civilization. This is the holi, OLI. They offer holi and they get married with a boy. So this offering of money is known as holi. And in some advanced tribes, you can see Moganalu. Moganalu, Moganalu. So these words you have to write it down and you should remember. Moganalu is the another type of offering money in other tribes, that is in advanced tribes. So this was given by the bride's brother. Who gives this money? Bribe's brother. పెండ్లి కూతురు యొక్క సోదరుడు ఇస్తాడు ఈ అమౌంట్ని. ఈ అమౌంట్ని ఏమంటారంటే మొగనాలు. మొగనాలు ఈజ్ ద ప్రైజ్ మనీ దట్ వాజ్ ఆఫర్డ్ బై ది బ్రదర్ ఆఫ్ బ్రైడ్ to a bridegroom. To a bridegroom. This is the custom or tradition which exists in the tribal group of people. So the amount varies on the basis of their economic status. So this is also one notable thing. That is the range of amount is varies from their economic status. It is commonly. And you can see the polygamy and child marriages are observed among the tribes, but rather uncommon, and the headmen of some tribal groups are inspecting the normal traditions. So any marriage, if you perform in the tribal society, it should be informed to the village head. Who is that village head? Vejjodu. You have to inform, and you have to that tribal people has to take the permission from the Vejjodu, and later they can perform the marriage. And here you can see the child marriage are common. Child marriage are common in all the groups of tribal people, except some tribal people, except in Rachakoya. In Rachakoya, only marriages will be performed after puberty. After puberty only. So the child marriages are common, and also polygamy is also common. What is meant by polygamy? Polygamy means having more than one wife. Having more than one wife to a one person. That is known as polygamy. Polygamy is common in tribal people. One man has more than one wives, two wives, three wives he has, and he has the pedigree, or he will the offspring with each wife. With each wife he will have the offsprings, children. So these mats are also takes mats means marriages, lineages. In the same lineages, they will conduct the mats. One peculiar aspect found among the tribes is that bride is usually elder to that bride. You can see this is the peculiar. In some groups of some minor groups of tribal people, you can see one peculiar thing, that is bride is the elder than the bridegroom. Usually in modern societies, what will happen? Bridegroom is elder than bride. But here you can see the bride is the elder than bridegroom. It is also one peculiar peculiar tradition you can see in primitive tribal groups. In not in all tribal groups, it is in case of primitive tribal groups. That is in minor tribal groups you can see. Of course, nowadays all the tribals are become civilized and modernized. Most of the most of the tribal traditions, cultures are dissolved dissolved with and acclimatized with modern civilization. Dissolved and acclimatized with modern civilization. But these are some of the traditions and customs which are commonly there in their tribal groups. But most of the traditions have been dissolved and diluted with other modern societies. So during the festivals and marriages, also in religious ceremonies, they use some plants. They use some plants. This is our main important aspect. So ethnobotanical aspect. In every function or in every ceremony or any other religious practice, they use some plants. What are those plants? Even in modern societies also, we use some plants in some auspicious days and some sacred days. We can use some the mango twigs we put into the house, so that they use some plants during those festivals and religious ceremonies. For example, Aegil marmelis. You know Aegil marmelis, Mared, Azad recta indica, Neem, Butea monosperma, Buteo monosperma, and మోదుగ బ్యూటియా అంటే మోదుగ ఫ్లేమ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఫారెస్ట్ అంటారు దీన్ని. You can so called flame of the forest, because in summer area, especially in May, if you see this Butea monosperma, all the leaves are fallen and they starts the blooming of flowering, and all these flowers are appeared in dark red color. When three or four Butea monosperma trees are living together, it appears from distance like a flame, a fire flame. So this Butea monosperma is called as flame of the forest. Flame of the forest. They use Aegil marmelis, Azadirachta recta indica, this Butea monosperma, Mangifera indica, you know Mangifera, Ficus religiosa, you know Ficus religiosa, Ravi, Ficus bengalensis, you know Murray, and Manilkara hexandra, Pogada, Manilkara hexandra, Pogada Chetlu. If we start house inauguration, the branches of this Manilkara hexandra is we use. We use this Manilkara hexandra, you can see. Syzygium cumini, you know Syzygium neredu. All these plants are used for their religious ceremonies as decoration. All the tribes, all the tribes participate in community dances. You see, communal dances are there. Have you ever seen these communal dances by tribal groups? If you go to Aruku Valley, you can see this Dimsi, Dimsa Nutyam, Dimsa Nutyam or Dimsa dance is performed by tribal people. So this is their designated tribal dance. Dimsa is the designated tribal dance in Aruku Valley. So they perform their own dances. If you see the Gonds, Gonds are the major tribal people. The Gonds are also perform the dance Gossadi. Gossadi is the name of the dance. Name of the dance Gossadi. So some names are there, Banjare. So these dances, but especially by Gonds, you can see this Gossadi dance. Gossadi dance is performed by the Gond tribal people, by Gonds. Why we are giving emphasis at everywhere to Gond tribal people is Gond are the major tribe in India, which have been originated from Gondwana, Gondwana system. So the Gonds are to be said at first. The Gonds are stood in first place among tribal people numerically or in the density of population in any way or in the habitations or in the distribution in India, they stands first. So that Gonds should be, we have to give give greater emphasis to Gonds. Gonds are the major tribal people. Then followed by Lombard and all other tribal people, what we have learned from last two classes. All others are significantly important, but Gonds are main group of the tribal people in India. That should be remembered. So this all the tribals participate the communal dances during their festivals, occasions, religious ceremonies, and other happy moments. They will perform their communal dance, and they have this boji. Boji means, Vindu. Boji. Along with the boji, they will drink toddy and araks as well as they smoke, irrespective of sex and age. Irrespective of sex and age, they celebrate grandly. So, if you see this some minor groups of tribals, if you go to their houses, you can see the wall paintings. So the walls are manufactured with only soil, no cement or any other. With soil, you can see some wall paintings. So these wall paintings are known as ettals, Ittals, ettals. So ettals are the wall paintings. Ettals are the wall paintings which are there on the walls of the houses of primitive tribal groups. In the primitive tribal groups, understand? So another tradition and most important custom is in Savara and Jatapu, some uh, primitive tribal groups, the deaths are, if a will be dead body will be uh, cremated. Cremated means all path పెడతారు, cremated. And if you see in some other major groups or advanced groups of tribals, you can observe that they will burned. They will burned. Anyhow, by cremation or burning out, they will celebrate. They will celebrate third day Ritu as Lemma. Lemma, Limma, Lemma. Lemma is the third day ceremony of the death. And Gar, Gar, Gar is the another ceremony which is performed after 10 days. After 10 days, these are their These are their main customs and religious beliefs. Religious beliefs. We will continue it some uh, beliefs and treatments. Beliefs and treatments. Also, socio-economic problems. What are their socio-economic problems? Also, we will learn in the next class. This is about today's class.